Let's see. Yeah, man, let's have a bit of a chat. Do you remember like months ago, like how we started with the program, like what was going on for you?
It felt like I had a vision, but I had no idea how to accomplish it. And I felt like I was letting that scare me.
Hmm.
Like I had goals and I was just the fact that it's unknown was freaking me out, making me not take action.
Yeah. Which kind of emotions or thoughts were present at that time?
I mean, if anything, just like fear of the unknown, really. Straight up that, and like having that fear make me not take action.
Yeah. And were you aware of like consequences of that, of being in that mode for too long?
Oh yeah, because it starts doing scarcity and you start doing I think the good thing is at the core of my person is I don't want to scam people. I don't want to try and do quick fix. Like I see the vision, but it wasn't allowing me to take action. It was just like fear and being frustrated and just like really frustration, huge frustration.
Frustration. Yeah.
And that was really making me want to like give up on shit.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. And let's see. Like, how did you find out about the ice events at that time?
Well, I don't, did you teach Patrick how to do ice events?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did one with him, and then I saw that you had one, and I hadn't really had access to one, and I wanted to do it, even though I don't know what it was. I bitched out that night. I did a short amount. I did a cold shower last night, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I did like the Goggins thing where like I'm staring at it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, fuck you, and I eventually got in it. But it's kind of like that. Just you just kind of got to let go of the thought and commit.
Hmm. So then you signed up, and then we had a chat at the table, eh?
Yeah, and and I've always been curious about rap A, and I was like, okay, and like did rap A, and I was like, that hit me like in the head in such
Hmm.
a good way.
Yeah. And then we ended up having the call. Uh, yeah, remember that one?
Yeah, because
Uh,
I knew my vision was starting to actually become reality at that point. Because I knew cash was coming to me. I could feel it.
yeah.
I could literally feel the money, but it was just like it was there was a point in February where I went down to having almost $0 in my bank account and having like 35, 40 grand in credit card debt from like the entire last year. And it was like I was getting that close to that, like that just I gotta give up on this moment. I'm just like I just started just I kind of just let go and
Mhm.
had faith a little.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that moment you said that you didn't have the money, and we booked a call, I think like something like 2 months. Well, actually, no, we you said like I will follow up with you in about 2 months or something, and you mentioned a specific date.
Yeah, and then
But
I hit you up on WhatsApp.
yeah, and would you have said like if you would have had the money, you would already made it happen, right? In that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really the money issue because most people use it as an excuse. Oh, I don't have the money, but there are other stuff. But for you, it was really in that specific moment, you didn't have it yet. Eh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use money as a smokescreen to not commit to doing something because you know essentially if you're selling something you want to be like, all right, are you committed? Do you really want this? Because if they say that multiple times, then it clearly is just a money issue.
Yeah. And how, like, what happened for you that in that call, even though you didn't have the money, but you had like the idea, like, I want to do this. Like, what caused that to come to that conclusion?
I think kind of the realness of you, where it's like kind of like right now, like the entrepreneur house, like what the fuck, blah blah blah. It's like that's good info because like they put all the social media out, but like what's really going on. Um, that's good info, but it's also like the realness. You're just all right. Like you had the ability to let go. This guy's a good client, but it's just not going to work out right now. But you didn't
Hmm.
try to force the sell. You're like, okay, well, all right, well, yeah, you got my number. We'll work with that. Like the
Yeah.
casualness, there was no emotional dynamic up and down. That's that level. Like I could see that.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's like my attachment to getting the sale, right? To speak like that.
Well, I would almost say your disattachment, like
Yeah, the dis
the
of
willingness to walk away.
uh-huh. Yeah, the
Like,
disattachment of
like what is it? Trump says that the person willing to walk away from the deal is in charge.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really agree with that part. That's something I've worked on over the years. And it's an important part of making you like decide. At the same time, like on another angle, what would you say, like regardless of this, which is a valid point, what other thing was there for you that made you decide to want to work with me?
When I met you at the house, the way you were talking about masculinity and whatnot, and talking about the relationships and whatnot, there was no shake. And it was like there's something about that commitment to your goal that it's like I can see the commitment to this man's goal in his life and his vision, and I feel like I could learn from that.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And the realization that things like that doesn't have to do with country or economic status. That's something mentally a person has, and that itself is very unique in the world.
Mm-hmm. So that you saw in me something that you were like, wow, that is something that I admire. And how then did that relate to you with what you wanted to develop?
I kind of mildly sense that in myself, but I want to figure out how to strengthen it, how to like allow it to be its best self,
Sorry
and like the
to allow.
how to strengthen that ability in myself.
Yeah.
Is my microphone dropping out?
No, it was just speaking a bit too fast. Like I was still processing some other things.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, if you can speak a bit about the process of the program, like how we started, and then to give you a bit of milestones there. Like first we had like an investigation of what was really going on at the core, like on the subconscious level. Having these conversations like where you are, where you want to be. Then having like this deep work session, having evaluation session, other tools and techniques. So how would you describe that, like how you experience that?
I would say it was a healthy flow because the deep work in the beginning, like going through intricate details, like I hadn't really put effort into my past in that way and how that was affecting my future. And realizing that like it's also what I give my attention to, like what part of my past is giving my attention to versus what part of my past really was the most enjoyable part. Like focusing on that, and that gives me so much more. And you had a good process to it because it felt kind of like a movie in a way, moving forward.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then like without going into details about exactly what you went through, but we had some discoveries about like childhood days of like 10, 12, 16. I think those were the numbers, years old. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
the big years in a teenager's life. Yeah.
yeah, when identities are created. Yeah. So we've worked on those, yeah. Um, what was the outcome you've experienced?
It's made a lot easier to let go. And it's funny because it's like such a synonymous thing in Fight Club of all movies, where like Tyler basically tells them it's like hitting rock bottom isn't a retreat. It's like it isn't a weekend, whatever. And he's like, just let go, and he just lets go of the car and lets it crash. And it's like, but it's kind of like the same as like the adapting with my trip. It's like I can't control every aspect of the trip. I can't get emotionally over the fucking obsessed about it. All right, there's a hurricane. Well, power is out. All right, well, at least now I'm in Atlanta where I have power and self service. I'm one step closer to getting to Colombia. And it's like not putting so much effort into those little details. Like, all right, I need to text every hour to this chick, or I need this person messaging me. I need to get back. It's like, no, I need to let go. If they understand me, and if we have if we know each other well enough, there's a reason. There will be a point where it'll be extreme, and we'll know that. But things will sit naturally. I need to let go and let that happen.
Mm-hmm. So if I would put some words on that, it's more um like confidently grounded in yourself, something like that.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And I've seen it as well in you, eh? Yeah. But the examples you also gave in your video was the conversation in the airplane next to that very rich guy that you felt like an ease, like no performing, no impressing, just like, yeah, we are here two equals.
Yeah, and like the fascination, and like this is one of those rich guys that like is rich because the universe wanted him to be rich. And it's like he spends more time getting to know others. He puts effort into this. He understands, and his whole career was course correcting. It was like, shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was like a score you would give the entire experience, the entire program?
I would give it a 10 just because I know for me what I'm looking to do and where I am, like that was it. As simple as it was. I mean, anything else could be shoddy, like doing, going to the Navy SEALs and doing Mets, but it's like that's just really rough on your body and your mind. This is something that takes time to develop. This is like a soft skill. It's like a muscle. It's like sales.
Like the program we have done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a high score, man. 10 out of 10. The other time you mentioned the 9 out of 10. Expected
Oh,
to hear a 9. It's even a 10.
oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Let's see. Let me think about some more stuff. Yeah. Where would you think you would have been now? Not like geographically, but like life-wise, if you would have not taken the program.
I feel like now, not knowing where the next dollar is coming from, I would have been in a frustration, scarcity mindset, and that would have trapped me to be stuck in it.
Yeah. Frustration, scarcity in the unknown. And what do you experience now, having done the program?
Well, confidence in the vision, like knowing that, all right, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. This is going to take time, but through this process, I will get there. I've set myself up as best I can. I've played the best chess pieces I can, and I will follow the board.
Yeah. So it's like the components of clarity and also an alignment with life, right?
Yeah,
That you know how your whole life, all areas, they play a role in making that vision happen.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, moving from that place, staying on track, confidence that you will make it, dealing with resistances, things come up. Like it's just moving forward, like yeah. Yeah.